She stood in my doorway with a brace on her leg and entitlement in her eyes, acting like time was a clerical error. "I need you," she said. Not, "I'm sorry." Not, "I was wrong." Just, "need." That was the moment I knew the plan had worked. 3 years earlier, she'd asked for the divorce with a calm that felt rehearsed. We were sitting at the same kitchen table where we once planned vacations and argued about paint colors. Her hands didn't shake. Mine didn't either. That scared her. She told me she'd reconnected with her ex. Old feelings, fate, the usual excuses dressed up as destiny. I remember the hum of the refrigerator, the way she avoided my eyes, the finality in her voice. "I'm not happy," she said, as if happiness were a receipt she'd misplaced. I nodded. I signed. I watched her leave with a suitcase that had once been mine, too. We met young, too young to understand the difference between love and momentum. She liked my steadiness. I liked her fire. We built a life brick by brick, shared bank accounts, Sunday routines, quiet promises whispered into the dark. I trusted her because trust felt efficient, because suspicion felt beneath us. That's what made the betrayal surgical. It didn't arrive screaming. It crept in wearing polite shoes. Late nights, a phone turned face down, a smile that lingered a second too long after a text. I noticed everything. I said nothing. I let the evidence stack itself. I watched patterns form. I watched her drift. The confirmation came in a reflection. Her phone lit up in the mirror while she showered, a name I recognized, a message that didn't pretend to be innocent. I didn't confront her. I closed the door. I breathed. I decided. I didn't rage. I didn't beg. I planned. I met with a lawyer before she ever asked for the divorce. I documented finances. I separated assets quietly, legally. I learned what was mine and how to protect it. I removed her from policies she didn't need to be on. I updated beneficiaries. I moved money like chess pieces, not weapons. When she finally left, she thought she'd won freedom. She didn't realize she'd forfeited security. Her ex, her great love, had charm and history, but no discipline, no insurance, no patience. They lived fast, they drove faster. The accident wasn't my doing. I didn't need to touch the wheel to understand where it would end. Fate doesn't require encouragement. He didn't make it. She did. That's when the messages started. Soft at first, then desperate. She said she was scared, alone, hurt. She said she'd made a mistake. She said we were still family. I didn't respond. I waited. Months later, she showed up at my door, injured and broke. The world finally done indulging her impulses. She looked at my house like it remembered her, like it owed her something. "I can't work," she said. "I don't have anyone else." I stepped aside and let her see the life she no longer had. The calm, the order, the absence of chaos. She limped in and sat where she used to sit, as if muscle memory could rewrite contracts. "I need you to take care of me," she said. I smiled. Not cruelly, precisely. I told her about the paperwork, the clauses, the timelines. I told her she'd signed away spousal support when she left voluntarily. I told her the house was no longer marital property. I told her my insurance no longer covered her. I told her I'd already moved on, not romantically, but structurally. Her face changed as each sentence landed. Confusion first, then disbelief. Then fear. "You planned this," she whispered. I nodded. I didn't deny it. Denial would have been an insult to the work. I reminded her of the day she chose passion over partnership, of how she called it honesty. I told her honesty has consequences when it arrives late. She cried. I let her. Tears are not currency. When she asked if there was anything I could do, I handed her a list of resources, shelters, aid programs, a number for legal assistance. Kind, impersonal, final. She couldn't understand my calm. She expected anger. She expected forgiveness. She expected me to clean up the aftermath of her choices. What she got was accountability. After she left, I locked the door and stood in the quiet. No music, no victory speech, just the steady pulse of a life reclaimed. Revenge isn't loud when it's done right. It doesn't announce itself. It waits. It prepares. It allows people to walk exactly where they're headed. I didn't ruin her life. I simply refused to save it. And in that refusal, I finally chose myself.